Yeah, so, altered states these days are a big topic with, shamanism and medicine journeys and trips to Peru and all there. And then that's a whole other podcast. But, if we take the wisdom of why have people in indigenous cultures and ancient cultures for thousands and thousands of years, why have they been altering their states? Well, it turns out that there's a lot of wisdom and access to new types of information that you may not have known through your ordinary mind. There's lots and lots of information on there. I mean, even I'm thinking of Alan Watts says that, one of the key ways to being sane is to spend a few minutes each day being insane, right? So there's something about the balance between our consensus reality and ordinary states of consciousness and occasionally dropping out. Businesses around the world know the benefits of inspiring teams that are stuck on projects to go do an offsite, go outside, have a meeting in a different room, move your chairs around, play a game, go play ping pong. Listen to music, do something else, like breaking away from a problem and in order to have an inspiration of a creative process. It can be an incredible way to solve problems that we have in the workplace and in our life. So in this section, a lot of this I've cultivated from process work psychology, and I call these microdose meditations or microdose visualizations, ways to have these little microdoses of altered states without having any kind of plant medicines while you're at work. So, there's a couple different exercises, that we could get into, but it's essentially really quick 1-minute things to think about problems and difficult challenges in your life slightly differently by accessing your intuition, by working with objects on your desk, by doing a little sketch on a pad, by going out for a quick walk in nature, various sort of tips like that, ways that we can drop out of an ordinary mind and then access information. And in fact, what was really mind-boggling to me was that much of this course was developed in that way. Obviously, all of the writing and the nuts and bolts of it were done sort of more in an ordinary state of consciousness where I'm sitting in front of my computer and writing it down. But all of the inspiration for the map, right? I mean, I had all this information, 20 years of Wall Street experience, 15 plus years of studying with some of the greatest teachers around the world. And I'm like, how do I put this into something that actually is unique to me and makes sense for people, that's digestible, and that actually will make an impact? And many, many of those ideas came in those moments when I was checking out. I went on a sacred hunt with a man named Monsell Denton in Austin, Texas. I organized this group. And it was while I was just sitting under a pecan tree, taking a break from the hunt, that I had a lot of inspirations come in. I work with visualizations that I teach you in the course, where I do these practices before I go to sleep. And then the first thing that comes to me in the morning would be an idea that I would then use to then kind of create more of the big picture idea. So I find that using dreaming and using nature and using some of these microdose meditations are great ways that we can have these huge insights into the big picture that we could then take back into our work and sort of do the moving your feet part of it to get it done.
Yeah, I mean, I can relate to, altering state to a degree in terms of my best ideas generally happen in rest periods between sets in the gym. Right. So I spend most of my working day in my office here, if I'm not, in the gym. But if I'm working out myself, it's about, my local gym where I train is about 400 meters away. And just that change of atmosphere, of location, because I'm away from, my stress is gone. When I'm working out, there's no stress. I'm not thinking about, I've got to get this done when I get back. I never think that when I'm working out, I'm working out. For some reason, people at my gym never speak to me when I'm in the gym. I think I'm giving off that vibe. I don't want to talk to anyone. I'm here to train, right? Because I see lots of other people standing around talking to each other. They spend more time.
Mostly trainers.
Yeah, there was a lot of that as well. But you see a lot of people, and they're being very nice and chatting, and that's all well and good. But I don't go to the gym to socialise.
Yeah.
So when I'm in my my rest periods, I'm not really thinking about anything in particular, and I just find ideas come into my head.
That's exactly what I found in my career. And so, I would realize that I had a partner, this is kind of a long topic, but my unique competitive edge was understanding how the weather impacted commodity markets on Wall Street. So my partner, his name was Matt Shera, was a meteorologist, and the two of us studied the weather and how that would impact, various things like energy or agriculture, and much more. But my point is that it wouldn't be until we got time away from the desk. It would be time when he would go on a road trip, or I'd go on vacation, or we get these moments of rest where we'd get these different perspectives to look at our portfolio and say, wait a minute, why are we doing this? We don't have any edge there. Or, I have this idea of where we're going. And so what I realized throughout my career, and now as I'm creating this course, is why do we have to wait for those moments of random rest periods, we can say, where these things come in? Why don't we cultivate those on a daily basis, proactively? So I've developed meditations for people to find moments in their day where they can check out and have those rest periods, so that, but in a systematic way, and they can learn to cultivate that and engage in that, so that it's not like just a random eureka moment where you happen to be in the bathtub,